How's it going, everyone? As always, my name is Jimmy Champagne. This is PSReady, my channel all about PlayStation. In this video, we got to talk about the PS5 Pro again, because even though everyone hates it, it seems like they're all still showing up to buy it. Second on the list, there's a new PS5 update that actually brings along some great features, and some of them, for some reason, are exclusive to the PS5 Slim and Pro, which I don't get. And third, the DualSense prices are going up. I genuinely don't understand what's happening at Sony right now. It is not great. Before we jump into the video, I'm still playing Space Marine 2. I'm hopelessly addicted. I have been caught by the Warhammer bug. I bought other games. I bought miniatures. I have the miniature I painted on screen right now. It's the first one I've ever done. It's 80% done. I need to do a little bit of cleanup. Tell me if this sucks ass down in the comments below, or if I'm doing okay, please. Thank you. Or give me tips. Give me tips on the eyes. I don't know how to do the eyes because he looks like a little cartoon character with the way I did them, and I don't like it. All right, let's jump into this first news story about the PS5 Pro. People are not happy about this. The trailer, go look at the dislikes, use a Chrome extension to see them. The dislikes are absolutely insane compared to the likes, and it seems like everyone is just not buying Sony's garbage with this. They're saying, look, if you compare the side-by-side images you showed during the YouTube video, they don't look all that much better, and in cases like Spider-Man 2, the upscaler clearly isn't working right because some things like the grass even look worse in the footage of Spider-Man 2 than they do on the original PS5. So they really screwed up by only showing old games. Like, you're showing The Last of Us Part 2 remastered. We had the big controversy when that came out that they didn't do anything from the PS5 patch that they did at the beginning of the generation. Like, you could compare that PS5 patch for the PS4 version and this native PS5 version side by side. And yeah, you get the roguelite mode, which is fine, but like, it's the same game. And now they're using that to show off the PS5 Pro. I said this in my last video. I don't want to be mean, but the marketing person at Sony, whoever's running marketing over there, you are doing a terrible job, man. There is no reality in which this announcement should have happened before you announce games that are coming to the PS5 and PS5 Pro. Every single one of your studios has been working for 4 to 5 years on games. I get that they don't want to show stuff too early because they don't want to generate a big hype cycle and have it die out before the game launches and disappoint people with delays, but it has been too long. You have all of your studios right now out of commission working on games. Show us something. You should have had a showcase or a state of play before this announcement and then done this hardware preview with those games. We need to see how new games are running, not PS4 games. But despite all this negativity, it seems like people are still extremely excited to buy the PS5 Pro, because if you look at Amazon, you look at Best Buy, you look at everywhere else, the PS5 disk drive is outselling everything. It's outselling games, it's outselling all the Xbox consoles, and in a lot of stores, it's outselling PlayStation 5 consoles, which I guess makes sense because there's a new one coming out. But people, despite all the negativity and complaining, are showing up to buy this disk drive. Me, personally, I have a PS5 Slim that is going to be relegated to my side console. I don't care if my PS5 Slim does not have a bottom faceplate when I take out the disk drive and put it in my PS5 Pro. I keep my PS5s behind the TV. I don't care what they look like. And on my desk where the PS5 Slim is, I'll turn it 45 degrees to not accentuate the fact that I'm missing a side plate because I took the disk drive off and put it in my PS5 Pro. I'm not giving them $85 on top of $700. The one positive is that Sony is actually stocking this thing. If you didn't know, it's been out of stock since it was announced, which is crazy because they've been selling a digital console, promising people they've been able to buy a disk drive to play their disc games that they may have bought from the PS4 generation or preemptively before they got a console during the PS5 generation. They have not kept this thing in stock for the better part of a year. And it really seems like what they did is hold that stock back. So when they announced that the PS5 Pro was not going to ship with the disk drive, they had at least enough available to get the vast majority of the people who want to buy one. But it just goes to show that, like, Twitter and YouTube aren't real life. You know, you've got the hardest core of hardcore fans there who analyze PlayStation day in, day out, like me. We're upset about this, and then the vast majority of people out there don't really care. They're like, oh, it doesn't come with the disk drive? No, it's available now. I'm gonna pre-order it at $84 right now. I'll just keep that off to the side and be good to go on launch day. And we got even more data about the sales figures of the PS5 Pro that are expected, because an analyst who predicted correctly that the PS4 Pro would sell around 13 million units in its first few years is predicting that the PS5 Pro will sell the exact same thing. So by 2029, there will be 13 million PS5 Pros out in the wild, which obviously is a big drop off from the sales figures of the current PS5. Like, that thing is selling really well, and I'm assuming it'll sell even better if they manage to drop the price. I still don't think think they're going to do it because of the whole reason the PS5 Pro is so expensive and why we haven't seen price drops up until now. But if they are able to drop the price to around $400 and $350 for the disc and digital models respectively, I think that would increase the sales even more of the console. But yeah, 13 million matches up with the PS4 Pro, which just shows that like Sony's prediction that this is just for enthusiast grade people or people who have a ton of money and don't care about dropping $700, it shows their prediction was correct, unfortunately for us. I think when you combine the fact of what I just talked about, where they should have announced the games first and then shown the console instead of showing us PS4 games and games that already run and look amazing on the regular PS5, like Spider-Man 2, like I'll give them props for showing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which apparently looks and runs way better, but like Hogwarts Legacy in that release video, that trailer for the PS5 Pro, that was running at 30 FPS. So I don't really care if you made the quality mode better. You spent the whole 9-minute video saying that you were trying to get 60 FPS in quality mode, and then you show a 30 FPS game that's 2 years old. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. So you combine that fact with the reality that Sony from the very beginning, like if you've been watching this channel since I started it, you have like clairvoyance for what they're doing right now because I've been predicting this for a long time and talking about it. Sony wants to become the next Apple with this thing. They want this console to be a boutique device that you upgrade every other year or so. Obviously they can't do it every year because hardware doesn't accelerate that fast. So it's more in line with like the MacBook and MacBook Pro with the M chips, but they want this to be something that costs a lot of money that people just buy every year despite marginal upgrades and just throw money at because they want to play games. But it's never going to happen, guys. You're making video games. It's like trying to sell people on upgrading their Blu-ray player every year, and now people don't even buy Blu-ray players anymore. So you literally can price yourself out of the market and really piss people off enough. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that's happened because if people weren't showing up to buy that disc drive, I think there would be some fires to put out at Sony, and we might see a little bit of a price reduction when this thing comes out, or they might start including the stand and the disc drive with it, which would be bare minimum to get me a little more excited about buying it. But yeah, it seems like people are just going to buy it either way. I'm buying it for a video, but I'm definitely selling some stuff. Like I have an old iPad and an old iPhone that I'm definitely going to sell on Facebook Marketplace to recoup some cash that I'm dropping on this thing. I'm going to keep my launch edition PS5 because the disc drive does not need to be paired with the console. So I just want that peace of mind knowing that as long as the servers are on, I'll be able to play my disc-based games. But I think it's really crappy that Sony spent the first half of this generation letting people buy physical games and then aren't giving people any option outside of ordering an optional peripheral. Like there should be an in-the-box disc drive version. Like people are still spending $800. Like own your mistake and put it on the box. Give me a version with the disc drive and have the gall to charge $800 instead of doing it in this very slighted and backhanded way. Anyway, that brings us to the second news story here, which is that there's a PS5 update out now, which again, it's like the Concorde to Astrobot situation. It's hard to be excited about new PS5 updates that are good when they faceplant as hard as they did with Concorde and of course the PS5 Pro, but I'll get into it. So the first thing they're adding in is the Welcome Hub, which is their like half measure to finally add themes to the PlayStation 5. It's replacing the Explore page, which would show you game news and like trophy info and everything like that. They're giving you a little bit more interactivity with it, like allowing you to pick the widgets that are displayed and reorder them. And it seems cool. Like it's a cool little dashboard for the PS5, but the best feature is that it comes along with the ability to change the background of the Explore or Welcome Hub or whatever it's called. So like when your console boots up, it'll go right to the Welcome Hub and you can pick from screenshots that you've taken. You can pick from some pre-made ones, which some of them are animated. I don't understand why it's so hard to just make themes. Like if you look at the tweet where they announced this software update, everyone is in the comments begging for themes. Just give your consumers what they want instead of being silent all the time and never really talking to them or doing what they want. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Like I'd be excited about this 2 years ago, right? It's changing the background on your console. It should have shipped with this, even giving them a 1-year grace period because they launched during the pandemic. I think this should have been done within the first year, like 1440p and making the SSD slot usable in the PS5, right? Like it's cool. It's just too little too late. But one cool feature is party share. So you're going to be able to generate links to a party that you can then join from your phone and use AirPods to talk to your friends. I think that's cool. And they say in the coming weeks, you'll be able to generate these party links from your phone. So you'll be able to start a party with your friends, then create a link, send it to your friend's phone. They can join on their phone. I think that's cool. The party chat feature works great on the PS5. I've used it with a few of you playing Space Marine 2. It's been a lot of fun. And then finally, the biggest feature, which I'm actually excited about, is customizable custom audio profiles for 3D audio, so you can increase things like footstep sounds, you can increase the bass, you can increase weapon sounds, you can really fine tune your audio profile to give you the sound that you need. I've been using the Pulse Elite headset a lot more lately because I've been playing so much Space Marine, and the PS5 features that they take advantage of from both the DualSense and the headset stuff with the 3D audio and everything really is commendable for a third-party developer releasing a game that runs better on Xbox. It's nice to know that they put in the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers and the 3D audio. I am really curious and excited to try out this 3D audio custom profile thing because I'd increase the bass. I think the bass is a little low on the Pulse Elite, and when you're playing a game like Space Marine, like I want to feel the footsteps in the actual cans because that armor is heavy as hell. Some of these features have been in beta. I don't think the Welcome Hub was in beta because I'm on the beta and I don't have the Welcome Hub. So yeah, you can get the update now on your PS5, and they're rolling a lot of these features out globally over a staggered release. So if you don't see it just yet, it should be there as they put it in the coming weeks. Anyway, that brings us to the third news story here. Sony just repeatedly shooting themselves in the foot. They're increasing the price of the DualSense by $5. So if you get the regular color ones like red, black, white, blue, pink, purple, whatever, you know, like just the regular spray painted controller colors, those have gone up from $70 to $75, which sucks. And then the custom editions like the silver one, the Deep Earth collection where they have that metallic finish, those have all gone up to $80, and other custom editions like the Astrobot controller or the Concord controller, those have all gone up to $80 as well. This one really just stings. I don't like this decision at all. I get you have to do things to adjust for inflation, and we should be more mad at the government than I guess companies doing stuff like this, but it's $5 a controller. Every generation going back to the PS3, controllers have cost the same as a game. Like you pay $60 for a game, you pay $60 for a controller. Same thing with the DualShock 4. Then with the DualSense, it was $70 because games were $70, and now you're paying $10 more. And in most cases, the only reason people are replacing a controller in the first place, is because it got stick drift or the battery died or something like that, and they don't want to pay the shipping fee to send it to Sony to fix it. So yeah, raising the price instead of lowering it is just a dumb move and a repeated sequence of dumb moves from Sony. Anyway, that about covers it for this video on PSReady. I hope you're having a great weekend playing some video games. I'm still working on my Halloween decorations for my front yard this weekend. I'm still going to be playing Space Marine. I built this scarecrow last weekend from scratch. I went out into the woods and I got a bunch of dead trees and vines and stuff, and I built this like Blair Witch ass scarecrow post, and then I bought this skeleton for $20 at Home Depot, and I floor stained it like with floor varnish, and then I like took the skeleton apart to make the arms bigger, and I used some sticks to make like some creepy like wooden hands for this guy, and then I got a fake pumpkin for $3 from Michael's and then cut it out and spray painted it, and I think it came out pretty good. I still got a few things to do to it, but yeah, let me know how my Warhammer painting was down in the comments. If you got any tips, let me know what you think of my scarecrow. Let me know what you're doing this weekend. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and shape on.